Good evening and many thanks for choosing KUTV News at 9 to keep you informed on the 26th day of November. Just one day, where tomorrow on the 27th of November we will be witnessing by-elections across various parts of the country, and KUTV will be here to keep you informed. But for now, the happenings of the day is where we will be focusing on today. Let's get the highlights.
IEBC asserts its preparedness to conduct credible by-elections ahead of tomorrow's race. CS Kipchumba Murkomen urges voters to turn out in large numbers and vote in tomorrow's by-elections. Governor Natembea's security withdrawal after a feud with Speaker Moses Wetangula sparks warnings. Garissa High Court warns of rising sexual gender-based violence cases as traditional dispute resolution denies survivors proper justice.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
On the sign language interpretation is Brian Perudo. Engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya and at Kemuma_Monari. We are streaming live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Let's begin. Now, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has expressed its readiness to conduct a credible exercise during Thursday's upcoming by-elections. Speaking in Kasipul, one of the regions where the exercise will take place, the Commission's chairperson, Erastus Ethekon, stated that the committee responsible for enforcing the election code will remain vigilant throughout the entire process.
Our constitution decrees that elections must be free from harassment, violence, intimidation, and of course malpractices such as bribery.
Hours before the by-election in various designated areas, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, IEBC, has emphasized its preparedness to proceed with the polls while issuing warning against any form of malpractice in the constitutionally mandated exercise.
I want to remind the country and the people in those areas where we're having elections, and in this particular case, even all those candidates, including here in Kasipul, that the Commission still has the mechanisms to take action against any reported electoral malpractice.
Speaking in Kosele, Kasipul, the Commission chairperson, Erastus Ethekon, explained that the committee responsible for enforcing the election code of conduct will remain alert until the winners of the elections are sworn in.
Don't complain on social media.
While urging all those with complaints regarding the election to present them to the Commission through the proper channels.
We encourage those ones who have any concerns. You must have tangible evidence. You must give us all the necessary information so that then that committee can be able to summon those candidates. It doesn't matter what time is left, as long as there are malpractices that will be that will come to our attention in the way of a formal complaint or petition. We will deal with them.
The IEBC also dismissed claims by some opposition leaders alleging that the government plans to bribe voters in the affected areas to support its preferred candidates. Ethekon clarified that although such actions are illegal, the IEBC will only take action based on evidence presented, not on baseless accusations.
Bribery is an election offense. Intimidation, harassment. So those election offenses are dealt with by the law. And these political actors know. They know they shouldn't be doing that. And if they are doing, all we need to do is let us have those cases reported with evidence, so that then, as I've said earlier, the Electoral Code of Conduct Enforcement Committee will examine the evidence, and on the basis of that will make a determination.
As the Commission signals its preparedness to conduct a credible by-election this Thursday, a total of 24 electoral positions are set to be contested for, including 6 parliamentary seats, 1 senatorial seat, and 17 ward seats across the country. Yvonne, Kemuma, KUTV.
Now, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has urged voters in areas scheduled for Thursday's by-elections to turn out in large numbers and cast their ballots, assuring them that security officers are fully prepared to ensure the exercise is peacefully conducted. Murkomen made these remarks in Kasipul, where he inspected the security situation just hours before the by-election.
The voters must turn out, come out and vote.
Speaking during his visit to Kasipul, one of the areas designated for tomorrow's by-elections, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has outlined the readiness of security agencies to maintain peace and order during the constitutional exercise, urging voters in those areas not to have any fears regarding their safety. Areas where we fear that there would be planned some people will have planned violence, or where people are planning chaos, we would like to deploy as many police officers as possible. So we want to forewarn our people to appreciate that there might be cases where in some areas you will see heavy police presence. It is not there for against the people, it's for your own good. According to CS Murkomen, the ministry has deployed adequate officers to every area where the exercise will take place. We have put in place proper security measures, and we have proper provision of police officers in every polling station and all the tallying centers to make sure that Kenyans go about their business safe. Murkomen also cautioned some politicians who claimed they would personally go to polling stations to guard their votes, stressing that such responsibilities do not fall on citizens but on security officers. There is no responsibility given to any civilian to protect any vote. All civilians, all voters, all Kenyans have a right to vote. Provision of security is the preserve of the National Police Service. And I must warn everyone, all those people who are preparing to bring goons to polling stations and tallying centers, I warn you that you will face the full force of the law. Addressing the chaos witnessed in Narok against former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, Murkomen had this to say. We are happy that someone is blaming us at the comfort of his house peacefully, no injuries, no death. It would have been a different story if we had allowed the situation to proceed and people die. People would have asked, where was the intelligence, where were the security, why did security take preventive action? So we are happy to take every preventive action. That's why we're here today, because we want to take preventive actions. Just hours before the by-elections in various parts of the country, the relevant agencies have reaffirmed their readiness to oversee the exercise, with 24 positions lined up for voting, including 6 parliamentary seats, 1 senatorial seat, and 17 ward seats nationwide. James Baraka for KUTV.
Now, elsewhere on the same beat, the government has issued a warning against any attempts to interfere in the Narok Town Ward by-election on Thursday. On Thursday, the 27th of November, stating that security personnel have been placed on high alert. Kennedy Mwangome, the Deputy County Commissioner for Narok Central, urged women and other vulnerable groups to cast their ballots in high numbers, promising to protect their safety.
Narok Central Deputy County Commissioner Mr. Kennedy Mwangome has called on women and vulnerable groups to come out in large numbers and cast their votes, assuring them that their security will be taken care of. To protect voters, election officials and political candidates, Mwangome stated that police personnel have been stationed at all polling stations along important transit routes and in sensitive regions.
Kesho tutakuwa na uchaguzi wa by-election ya Narok Town Ward, na lile jambo ambalo tunataka kuashua voters wote na wakazi wote wa Narok Town ni kwamba tumeweza kuimarisha hali ya usalama. Tumeweza kupata hata maofisa zaidi wa kuja kutusaidia na mambo ya security. Kwa hivyo tunataka kuashua voters wote waje kupiga kura kulingana na vituo vyao vya kura vile walivyojiandikisha, wakiwa na uhakika kwamba usalama wao umeweza kuzingatiwa.
Speaking to the media in Narok Town, the administrator reassured the locals that the National Government Administration Organization GAO and the National Police were on high alert to protect Kenyans and allow people to exercise their democratic rights, when the sub-county security team provided updates on how it plans to oversee lawful and peaceful elections.
Kama nilivyosema, wale ambao watatakana katika tallying centers, other than the candidates ambao watakuja pengine kuangalia na wale voters ambao watapiga kura na kuondoka, wale wengine ambao watabakia pale, kama ni mambo ya kuprotect kura, ni wale agents wa candidates peke yake. Hakuna mtu mwingine anafaa kuwa pale isipokuwa maofisa wa IBC na pia maofisa wa usalama. So kama kuna goons, hatutasema kwamba kuna goons kwa sababu hatujawaona, lakini lile jambo ambalo sisi tunataka kusitiza ni kwamba mtu akipiga kura aweze kutoka katika polling station na kuacha agent.
In a move perceived as both nostalgic and tactically unifying, the ruling UDA party has put forth Robert Kanyike Ole Kudate, the late MCA's firstborn son. The Democratic for Citizen Party DCP of former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has put its trust in Mr. Douglas Masikonde, who has become the party's most effective mobilizer in the ward and has the unmistakable support of Gachagua's political operators.
Kutoka hapa tutakuwa na communication center yenye tutafuatilia mienendo yao kuanzia saa ile watafika pale kituoni leo hadi kesho. Wakati watatoka watakuwa wakiwasiliana na sisi at intervals of 3 hours. They should be able to 2 hours to communicate with us. Yangu tu ni kusihi watu wa Narok Town County Assembly Ward waje asubuhi, alafu wakipiga kura na waje kwa wingi, wakipiga kura waelekee warudi mahali walipotoka.
The Independent Electoral Borders Commission IEBC returning officer Mr. Mbogwa Kuria cautioned candidates running in the by-elections not to arrive to the tallying station with truckloads of supporters or goons, even though the ward has 29,452 voters. Edon Nyamo, KUTV.
Now, the United Democratic Alliance UDA has expressed concerns about what it believes to be an opposition plot to wreak havoc during tomorrow's eagerly awaited Mbeere North by-elections. Cecily Mbarire, the governor of Embu and chairperson of the UDA party, made the accusations at a press conference in the town, accompanied by Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Ruku. CS Ruku echoed her concerns and appealed to security agencies to remain vigilant and deal firmly with anyone seeking to disrupt the peace.
I am sure tomorrow elections will be conducted within the law, because I am a member of the executive and I know the government of Kenya has put all the necessary security measures.
We have shared first of all, we have shared the names and telephone numbers of all those goons who have come from outside Embu County and brought by the opposition to come and cause mayhem and havoc on the people of Mbeere North. So those names are with the officers. They are being closely monitored. Some of them actually are already on ground and they are known by name and by their telephone number. They are focusing on areas where they think they are weak. We know they have a specific plan for Chicago, Social Hall. We know they have a specific plan for Kerie.
Now, Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya has come out in public putting the record that his security personnel has been removed after heated differences between him and National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula. Natembeya confirmed that his driver and other 6 elite policemen were summoned back and told to report to the closest police station following the government's decision to remove their security personnel. Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale has issued a stern warning about the possible repercussions should he or Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya suffer violence. Interior CS Kipchumba Murkomen had a response for the same.
Those officers have been called to provide information, National Police Service, as to how they found themselves in the midst of goons and planning of violence and so forth. If it is they are found culpable, the appropriate disciplinary action will be taken against those officers. If they are innocent, of course they will go back to work. But what we are trying to protect them from also is the possibility of mixing up with goons with machetes and ends up finding themselves in crossfire with police officers. Again, that is the thing we are doing. We want to assure everybody who is law-abiding citizen, including leaders, that their security is guaranteed.
Now, from that report, we are due for our first commercial break here on KUTV News at 9, and then we'll be back with more reports on the other end, so stay tuned.
Are you ready to take charge of your health? Welcome to Focus on Health, your weekly guide to staying informed and living better. Join me every week as I sit down with trusted medical experts.
Gynecology is basically a field concerned with mainly the female genitalia.
Explore real-life stories
during when the patient come in
and bring you updates and tips that are beneficial to your health. Because health isn't just important, it is everything. Tune in to Focus on Health every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. only on KUTV. I'm your host, Kandia Marian, and I'll see you then.
A new era, a new people. This is the Law Matters Show. A program that brings you legal sensitization on your television.
My statement is written and just the quote the prosecution.
I think that this loss is a setback for Raila Odinga.
What policy recommendations were fronted by the candidate?
With diversity, we demystify important legal issues locally, regionally, and internationally.
What Tanzanians.
Join me, Elvin Onsongo, as I bring you more insights on law matters.
We are looking at social issues. What is the problem? Is it the economy? Is it...
Law Matters Show, creating awareness, advocacy, and enhancing lives.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Yvonne Kemuma.
That's right. On the sign language interpretation, we continue this journey with Brian Peru, who engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya and at Kemuma_Monari. Let's continue. Now, for more than a month, Kango Ka Jaramogi village has remained at the center of national attention following the death of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Today, environmentalists converged in the village to plant palm trees, locally known as Kango in Luo, as a symbol of peace and unity.
Kango Ka Jaramogi, the ancestral home of Kenya's first Vice President Jaramogi Oginga Odinga, is where the former Prime Minister and ODM party leader Raila Odinga was laid to rest. The villagers continue to receive delegations from across the country, all coming to pay their respects.
We have come here because we would like to present some trees here.
For many Kenyans, the meaning of the name Kango has remained unclear, largely because most of the young generation is unaware that Kango refers to the olive tree, while mourners have arrived with diverse offerings, including cattle and even camels. A group of environmentalists led by Dr. Michael Mukolwe chose a symbolic tribute, planting olive trees to remind the nation of the cultural meaning behind Kango in the Luo.
We came together with our friends to mourn our departed Baba, Father Raila Amolo Odinga. So today we are going to plant this tree to symbolize the peace Baba leave us.
The scientific name is Olea aerupea subspecies africana. The Kikuyus call it Mutamayo, but the Luos call it Kango. One interesting thing about it, the Luo gives this tree, the name that the Luos gives this tree is an association with Kango Ka Jaramogi. So we also find that this tree, symbolically by extending an olive branch, it means you are extending peace across different cultures.
Mukolwe say the choice of the olive trees reflect the peace and calm that Raila Odinga championed throughout his life, noting that the tree has long been associated with cleansing, covenant, truth, justice, reconciliation, and peace.
This particular tree, Olea aerupea subspecies africana, Kango in the Luo, has several uses. This could be economic, touching on socio-cultural, and also environmental. In terms of economic uses, we have timber, charcoal, furniture, carvings, poles, posts, utility wood, and also oil.
The planting exercise was intended to leave a lasting symbol of harmony, echoing the message Raila Odinga spread across the country for decades. Globally, the olive tree is recognized as a sign of unity and love, values embodied by both Raila and Jaramogi.
It's regarded as a tree of peace.
Anyango Sylvia, KUTV.
Now, the Garissa High Court has raised a fresh alarm over the rising cases of sexual and gender-based violence in the northern eastern region, warning that traditional dispute resolution systems are undermining justice for survivors.
Garissa High Court Judge John Onyego has raised alarm over rising sexual and gender-based violence cases in the northeastern region, blaming informal maslaha settlements for undermining justice. Justice Onyego reiterated the need for the Department of Children's Services and the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, ODPP, to strictly adhere to the law, emphasizing the need for timely investigations and prompt charging of suspects to allow the courts to take over the judicial process without delay.
Confrontational aspects. We are simply teaching them, sensitizing them that it's wrong, and anything they decide in such decisions will not be binding on anybody. So you are the one who lose if you are paid any compensation, because at the end of the day, the offender will be arrested and be charged. So the discouragement will be that even when you are paid your compensation, it will be a waste, because at the end of the day, that offender will be arrested and be charged.
Onyego further urged the leaders who sit in the maslaha sittings to avoid encouraging reconciliation on matters related to GBV, affirming that they should not touch those cases at all.
So there is a list which is specific, which offenses they should touch and which ones they should not touch. So for the ones that touch on gender-based violence, they are prohibited. They are a very important segment of our society, and we encourage them. That's why we have established HAS for particular areas or departments.
Abdiwahab Ibrahim of the National Gender and Equality Commission warned that GBV cases in the region are rising, fueled by defilement, FGM, early marriages, and intimate partner violence. He said reliance on maslaha, stigma, and limited support services continue to deny survivors justice.
These violence issues is on the rise in the Reza County of late, and it is attributed to several causes. So the key challenges facing is number one, there is an increased case of sexual violence, including defilement, intimate partner violence, and sexual assault, as an example. And then reliance on informal justice mechanisms, that is maslaha, where the community members are resorting to maslaha instead of the criminal justice system.
That to have a court that is specifically meant for GBV cases and child protection issues. And I want to also talk to the community, because we have this opportunity today to once again believe in the justice system. We request your support. We're giving you this memorandum, and I'm very sure you will support us. All the pending cases we have, because of this number of, like 100 number of cases.
The 2025 16 Days of Activism campaign that ends on the 10th of December aims to amplify calls for stronger protection systems, survivor-focused justice processes, and community accountability in addressing GBV in the region. Linda Nzilu, KUTV.
Now, residents of Kirinyaga County have taken to the streets to protest alleged rampant corruption and poor service delivery at the Kerugoya Land Registry, accusing rogue officials of fueling land disputes and disenfranchising vulnerable groups.
Tension is rising in Kirinyaga as frustrated residents stage peaceful protests in Kerugoya town, demanding immediate action from Lands Cabinet Secretary Alice Wahome. The demonstrators want a complete overhaul of staff at the Kerugoya Land Registry, claiming the office has become a hotspot for corruption, delays, and land fraud. Residents of Kirinyaga say rogue land registry officers have disinherited widows and disposed the elderly, with Rachel Njambi describing the registry serving 5 sub-counties as a crime scene and warning that services could collapse without urgent action.
Wa Kirinyaga tuko na shida kubwa sana. Ukiwa una pesa hakuna kuhudumiwa ka registry. Sasa hii mambo ya registry imekuwa kama kuna watu walishika kama ni boma yao iko hapo. Kuna watu wanapewa pesa mingi na walipi stamp duties. Sasa hiyo stamp duty iko juu sana. Hata tumeshindwa na kufanya kazi yetu. Sisi kama wamama sisi hatuna mabwana.
She highlighted that in the lands there is a lot of corruption and that people are not being served well. She urged the government to intervene and assist them so that work could continue going on.
Kwa rat kuko na corruption sana. Tunaenda hapo, kama mimi jana nimeshinda hapo, sikuona mtu akunihudumia. Nimekuta hata wazee wakilia wakikaa hapo wanalia wahudumiwe. Sasa tunataka Alice Wahome akuje aingilie CS hapo wa shamba, akuje one hiyo corruption iko hapo ndani, ndio kuwezekane kieleweke ni nini kunafanyika hapo.
He urged that all staff at the Kerugoya Land Registry be replaced, accusing them of failing to serve the public properly, and warned that without immediate reforms, residents will continue to face delays, disputes, and denied access to land services.
Sasa tunakuja hapa kwa sababu ya legislation, kula kwa legislation hakuna kazi inaendelea, kwenda huko hakuna kuhudumiwa. Sasa kuna shida sana. Kwa hivyo tunataka wale watu huko hakuna kuhudumia watu. Kwa hivyo tunataka kule kubadilisha watu na watu kurekebisha watu. Ili watu wakihudumiwa. Hivyo.
The residents have vowed to storm the registry and close it down if action will not be taken to restore order. Linda Nzilu, KUTV.
Well, in the sporting world, Bidco United and Kenya Police FC faced off today in a fierce Premier League match where Police came out with a 3-2 win. The game was full of pace and intense moments, with Bidco displaying defensive lapses in crucial areas, while Kenya Police made the most of their chances. Bidco's coach admitted to mistakes that cost his team, while the Police side praised the hard work and unity that helped them secure the vital 3 points. Well, 33 minutes past the top of the hour here in KUTV News at 9. We call it a wrap, and it's a pleasure always having you during this time. Now, on the sign language interpretation was Brian Peru, and my good name has been Yvonne Kemuma. On behalf of the entire team behind this particular production, have a good night and see you next time, same place.
Are you an aspiring media practitioner, a graduate, or you just want to advance your skills in television production? Then welcome to Kenyatta University, where education meets innovation. KUTV, the premier university television station in Kenya, is now offering short courses in TV studio, field technical operations, and video editing. Through these courses, you will acquire hands-on skills on camera operations, media production, lighting techniques, audiovisual editing, and sound and visual control, and how to operate key equipment in modern